Hey guys, Mike here from Wyre. Today we're going to be talking about security when storing your assets with counterparties such as exchanges and hosted wallets. This is going to be a two-part video. The first part is going to focus on how this actually happens, and then the second part is going to go into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty and helping you identify what kind of red flags to look out for when storing your assets with counterparties. Comparing crypto, which is about 4 to 6 years old since a lot of venture capital has poured into it, to the three little pigs. Initially, there was limited understanding, limited sets of best practices when it came to security, and that's kind of like the people building their houses or exchanges out of straw or sticks, which is what happened in the three little pigs. The big bad wolf came along and he blew the house down and basically took over the house. But now the crypto industry has matured where all the houses should be built out of bricks. And we all know how to build houses out of bricks. Yet, unfortunately, the adoption of best practices has not actually been encouraged enough in the space. As the industry has rapidly grown with adoption and you see all these exchanges and wallets growing by huge amounts of numbers exponentially, from the security side, they're forced to sort of say or make a decision where they go, right, we are going to stop letting people into our straw house and stick house because there's too many valuables in this house, and we're going to rebuild it in brick because we know exactly how to build it in brick now. The problem is when you have this rapid acceleration and adoption, a lot of people aren't willing to take or make that investment where they're going to take sort of 3 or 4 steps backwards to go 10 steps forwards from a security standpoint. The first most important thing is only ever store a limited amount of your assets with a counterparty, because when you don't control the keys to your assets, you actually don't control the assets at all. When I'm thinking about storing my assets with a counterparty like an exchange or a hosted wallet, I'm always really conscious of whatever I give to them is not essentially in my control if something happens. So the golden rule is you always want to be in possession of your assets as much as possible, where possible. To give yourself peace of mind, the best way is always to store your own assets with yourself. So typically picking up something like a hardware wallet, one of these like a Ledger Nano, it's like a little USB stick that you plug into your computer, you put your assets onto it, and then you hide that, or you bury it, or you put it in a safety deposit box with a bank. Basically, nobody can touch that, no one has control over it but you. Coming next is part 2, where we're going to go into the details about how to identify who are the brick houses and who are the sticks and straws when you're working with counterparties like exchanges and hosted wallets if you're not storing your assets with yourself.